Well, it should come as little surprise by now that in the fifth inning, Wednesday's game against the San Francisco Giants, scoreless tie, Jackson Chourio comes up, gets the party started, kicks off a 5-run fifth inning, and the Brewers win. Chourio further cementing himself as one of the best Brewer rookies ever. We'll get to that coming up next and see how he stacks up here on Locked On Brewers.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi, everybody. Good to have you along, especially the night after another Brewers win. Should come as no surprise that the Brewers didn't lose consecutive games. They got beat by the Giants Tuesday, but you knew they were going to come roaring back and winning on Wednesday night, and lots of great stuff. But I want to focus on Jackson Chourio and just how great of a rookie year he has, considering his age too, and how much better he's going to get. Good to have you along. Locked On Brewers is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code Locked On MLB, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It is game time. Chuck Freeman, longtime sportscaster here in the state of Wisconsin. And I've seen all these guys play, all these rookies play. The Brewers have had a handful of rookie years, and I'm not going to include Devin Williams in this because that was a pitcher, and certainly in 2020 he had a great year. But I'm just going to talk about offensive players and where he stacks up among the best Brewer rookies of all time. And when I think of, well, let's set the table first of all. When you look at great Brewer rookies, guys who maybe didn't even have a great rookie year, but went on to have great careers. Robin Yount, 1974. Paul Molitor, 1978. Prince Fielder, 2005, came up in September, and then 2006 was his first full season. Ryan Braun, 2007. Pat Listash, we forget about him. Rookie of the Year, 1992. Where does Jackson Chourio stack up with all these guys? Chourio right now, 16 homers, 19 stolen bases, 60 RBIs. He's batting .273 in the heart of the Brewers order. That's in first place. And yes, one of the best teams in baseball. Put a tweet out there on Wednesday night during the game after Contreras hit his home run. I said, yeah, Brewers, I mean, you got to be a complete idiot not to think the Brewers are one of the best teams in baseball. A complete moron to think that. I don't know if I put it that way. I think I tried to find a little better PC way to put it, I guess, without calling names, but you get the point. But to start that inning in the fifth inning, well, they walked Sal Frelick. The Giants walked Sal Frelick, not intentionally, but they walked him. Frelick drew a walk at the bottom of the order, got it to Chourio with 2 outs, and he delivered an opposite field base hit. Not a 449-foot home run like the night before, but then what he had to do, opposite field base hit. And just one of many big moments this guy's been in. Now, with Chourio, what separates him from some of these other great players, other great rookies, is the Brewers are in first place. Prince Fielder's team was not in first place in his first full season in 2006. Paul Molitor, 1978, did not come in first place. Robin Yount, 1974, his team was terrible. Ryan Braun, 2007, first place early in the year, never made the postseason, and kind of whimpered to the postseason, whimpered to the finish line in 2007. The Brewers did, not Braun. And Listash, 1992. They were always trying to catch Toronto, and they never could. I think they got within a game and a half of Toronto at one point, but Listash did win Rookie of the Year. So when you look at these guys, you look at Fielder, Braun, Yount, Listash, Molitor, Chourio, offensive players. There's only one player I think that's had a better rookie year than Jackson Chourio, and that's Ryan Braun in 2007. Batted .324, hits the 34 home runs, 97 RBIs. That is the benchmark for rookies. I mean, that's one of his best seasons, too. I mean, you could have put him up for MVP that year, too, Ryan Braun. But I still think that's the benchmark for Brewer rookies. 2007, Braun comes up Memorial Day weekend in San Diego, homers, and the rest is history. Always right in the heart of the order, coming up big moments for the Milwaukee Brewers. They moved him around a lot, a couple of different positions, but Braun, 2007, 34 homers, 97 RBIs, batting .324. I want to say that is the benchmark. Listash, here's where I think Listash has got the bigger upside. I'm sorry, Chourio. This is where I think Chourio, I'm looking at Listash here. This is where Chourio's got the bigger upside. He's 20 years old. The guy is physically mature, but a 20-year-old, wait till this kid is 23. How physically strong is he going to be when he fills out? And he learns all the nuances of the game. Yeah, 20 years old and he's doing these things. Playing with a high baseball IQ. Very big, instrumental part of the Brewers' success. I think the upside for Jackson Chourio could be better than all these guys. All these guys. And, somebody say Yelich did not, his rookie year was not with the Milwaukee Brewers. He was on pace to become one of the all-time great Milwaukee Brewers, but he obviously started his career with the Marlins. So Jackson Chourio. I think Jackson Chourio could become the best of all these guys. Could run the bases, does smart things out there, hits for power, enormous power. We never saw 450-foot home runs come out of this guy this year. I was hoping, Chourio's got 16 homers. I was hoping maybe he'd get to 10 this season. 10, bat about 250. And he might not be an everyday player. Yeah, I was unsure. I think a lot of us were unsure if he'd be an everyday player. Especially if he started off slow. He was in the everyday lineup to start the season. But certainly, within the first couple of weeks, we knew that Chourio should be a everyday player, and he's so much better than he was in April, May, and June. 7 home runs for the month of August. Unbelievable. Yeah, Chourio could go down as the best Brewers rookie ever, but he's not going to win Rookie of the Year. Strong consideration, but he's really coming on strong right now. The home run Tuesday night, the RBI single going opposite field on Wednesday night. And then, you could go right down the list of all the great things. And Chourio's got some great mentors on this team. We had a chance to talk to Freddy Peralta, who threw 6 shutout innings on Wednesday. Freddy Peralta after the game. And Peralta is one of the mentors. Contreras is one of the mentors for Chourio. You need some older veteran players on the team to bring this kid along, and those two guys are there for him and play a big part in his maturity as a major league ball player. He likes to have a good time. Chourio fits right in with that locker room. All right. I remember a kid by the name of Gary Sheffield. When he came up when he was 19, did not fit into the locker room. Robin Yount at 18, he did fit in the locker room in 1974. Robin Yount's rookie year, he batted 250, three or four home runs, not much there. Molitor, his rookie year, 278, handful of home runs, stole some bases, but you knew Molitor had the potential to be great. Yount, unsure of he would have, because the first few years of Yount's career weren't bowled over by his talent. He was young, but he was growing. But by 1978, you began to see some things from him. And by 1982, after he hit the weights were a big thing back then. He had 29 home runs when someone called him out for having warning track power on the Brewers. In the offseason, he hit the weight room, and he elevated his game, I want to say, from 1982 on, during the prime of his career. Molitor, you saw greatness. Ryan Braun, you saw greatness. Molitor and Yount, Hall of Famers. Braun won't be. Listash, 1992. Stolen base. I believe he led the American League in stolen bases, I want to say. But a guy who never built on what he did in 92. A few years later, he was out of baseball. He was a journeyman. I think he was managing in the Cubs organization last time I checked. This was a few years ago. But Listash was Rookie of the Year in 1992. Did not turn out to be very good over the course of his career. Braun, I would say, best rookie year. Chourio, second best rookie of the year. Fielder, 2006, if you want to call it his first full season, 28 homers, batted .271. But Chourio, like I mentioned, the mentors he's got in his locker room. Freddy Peralta, Contreras. We talked in the media, we go in the locker room after games, obviously, and we talked to Freddy Peralta and what he felt about the kind of August that Chourio's having right now. And here's what Peralta had to say.
Yes, I love that, man. It's really fun, and especially he believed that. He believed that he's great. You can tell. I laugh all the time because when he do those kind of stuff, he come back, especially to me, like, you see how good I am, like, and I like, I don't know, I don't even know like what to, the answers that I have to give, and I just laugh about it, just smile about it, because he's believing that, and that's really important for us. Especially I have to take that for me too. Sometimes you gotta, accept and let know by yourself that you are good, that you are here because you're yourself over here, and he just believe in that. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's Freddie. That's how good I am, I believe was the comment there. Of course, Chourio's doing it in jest. Guys being guys. That's what he's doing. And don't read anything into that, obviously. He's cocky or anything. No, he's just part of the makeup of this team. It's a fun team. It's a great locker room. Jackson Chourio. That's how good I am. Very good. Said it in jest. And that was funny to hear Peralta talk about that after Chourio came back to the dugout. I think it was probably after Tuesday's game. He probably made that comment. I don't know if he'd made that comment Wednesday, probably Tuesday, after he blasted that 449-foot home run. All right, so Jackson Chourio, the beat goes on for the Milwaukee Brewers. And speaking of Freddy Peralta, the beat has been going on for him in his last 3 starts. We'll get to that coming up next here on Locked On Brewers. Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Liquid IV. It's Liquid IV. Liquid IV, I've seen them at convenience stores. This gas station I go to, it's right on the counter, and they have all your favorite flavors. When you're working out, long flights, hot days. We've had a couple of 90-degree days here in Wisconsin, hot and humid. You need something to replenish, stay hydrated, whether you're traveling or whatever you're doing after a night out. Liquid IV is there for you. Tart cherry, raspberry flavors, popsicle, firecracker. Find all your favorite flavors on their website. They have everything on there, including pina colada. Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use the promo code MLB at checkout. 20% off your first order. When you shop, you get better hydration and you get all the nutrients you want. Hard day's work. You have a Liquid IV and you're ready to go. Liquidiv.com. Use the promo code MLB and you get your 20% off. Liquid IV. Get hydrated. The electrolytes, the essential vitamins, clinically tested nutrients from the #1 powdered hydration brand in America, Liquid IV. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, go over to one of the platforms where we download the podcast, Google, Spotify, Apple. Please subscribe on there. Our podcasts are on there daily as well. Wherever you download your podcast, we are there. We're the #1 Brewers podcast on the internet because of you great Brewers fans out there. And if you're just listening to us every day on the audio platform, you get us on YouTube. Go to Locked On Brewers on YouTube, hit the subscribe button here, hit the bell that alerts you every time we drop an episode here on Locked On Brewers. Brewers did win 5-3, a 5-run fifth inning. We talked about what Chourio did. William Contreras had another tape measure home run. He's been on a roll as of late. Just unbelievable. So the story, though, I buried the lead because I want to talk about Chourio, and he did have an RBI base hit. Freddy Peralta. Freddy Peralta in his last 3 starts, covering 17 innings, has allowed just 1 run. He's been amazing. Now, I'm not going to call him an ace. He's not the ace. He's the #1 starter on this team. But Freddy is going through a great stretch right now. All I have to say, Freddy, keep it up. He had 8 strikeouts, 2 hits over 6 innings against the Giants. Giants scored a couple of runs off the Brewers bullpen late. Devin Williams closed it out, 1-2-3 in the 9th inning. But Peralta, you have to feel good about the way he's pitching. Certain guys on this team are coming together. Will Contreras is having a big month of August. Freddy Peralta on the hill. Devin looks to be back to his old self. He had that left shoulder soreness. 1-2-3 in the 9th inning. He looks great as always. McGill did give up a run early in that game. That McGill Devin Williams 1-2 punch hasn't quite got there just yet. Maybe we will get there, but McGill hasn't looked great since coming off the injured list. He has not looked dominant like he did before he went on the injured list. So, but Freddie is dominant. Keep it up, Freddie. Keep her going. Need you, especially into October. And the Brewers, yeah, they have no equal in this division, and they're catching up on other teams in this division. I should say, in the National League. We want to get that 1 or 2 seed. And that 1 or 2 seed right now, Philadelphia, they have 55 losses. They got beat. They got embarrassed by Houston. I think Houston took a no-hitter into the 8th inning. I mean, Philly pretty much gave up in this game. I hope Taijuan Walker pitches against the Brewers in the postseason. That guy's terrible. He is awful. And I feel like the Phillies just gave up in this game. I mean, there was just no fight in them whatsoever. And I see that from the Phillies once in a while. You don't see that from the Brewers. But I just saw no fight from the Phillies. The Dodgers won. The Dodgers got 54. They beat Corbin Burns. The Dodgers got 54 losses. Milwaukee's got 56, and Philadelphia's got 55. So the Brewers 1 game behind Philadelphia in the loss column for the 2nd seed, 2 games behind Los Angeles for the top seed in the National League. Still could get there. 1 more game coming up in this series against the Giants coming up 1:10 on Thursday afternoon. You get it on SiriusXM, the SXM app. Search Brewers. You get all 162 of Brewers baseball on Sirius and SiriusXM. Yeah, Jackson Chourio. Imagine what he's going to be like when he fills into his body. At 20 years old, he looks the part, but he's going to only get better and physically stronger and more mature with his body. And again, learning the nuances of the game each and every year. Pitchers are going to adjust to him. He's going to adjust back. Jackson Chourio is a great player. And man, thank God the Brewers signed him to that contract in the offseason, because there's no doubt after 6 years, he would have outperformed that contract. But we're not going to say anything about that. He knows that, but he's getting paid. The Brewers are winning. And the Brewers could go for the series win against the Giants coming up on Thursday afternoon. We'll get to that coming up next here on Locked On Brewers. Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. If you're going to go to the game, sparse crowds the last couple of nights at AmFam Field, and I get it, kids are going back to school and all that, but, there's plenty of tickets on game time. If you want tickets behind the dugout, they're there. You want tickets in my favorite section, the club section, they're there. Loge section, they're all there. You want tickets behind the dugout, they are there, all on game time. Game time, with game time, just pick the event that you want, browse through the seats, and you'll find exactly what you're looking for. You get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. You get the lowest price guaranteed, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the discount. Now, here's what you need to do. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB, $20 off your purchase. So you buy $70 worth of tickets tomorrow, you get them for $50. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code LOCKEDONMLB. You got to use LOCKEDONMLB to get the $20 off. So download the Game Time app, and the Brewers will be home on Thursday, and then they'll be back home on Monday again for St. Louis in town. Weird quirk of the schedule. They come home for 3 games, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They go to Cincinnati. They play a day game today, and right after, they got to get on a plane, go to Cincinnati because they got a morning game in Cincinnati, a day-night doubleheader Friday. So they'll play at 11 o'clock in the morning on Friday, and I think 6 or 7 o'clock at night in the day-night doubleheader. So anyway, if you're going down to Cincinnati too, use the Game Time app. Game Time and take advantage of that offer. Also, PrizePicks. PrizePicks, guys. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Over 5 million active members. PrizePicks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, PrizePicks, it's you against the numbers. Pick more or less 2 to 6 players. Maybe you want to think that Jackson Chourio is going to go get heavy and homer tomorrow on Thursday. Well, get on all the action. Daily action with your friends. Become part of PrizePicks community today. So download the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's right, $50 instantly when you play $5. But use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's how you're going to get your credit there. On PrizePicks, $50 instantly when you play the $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. You just got to play the $5. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks. Run your game. Check free, but down the stretch we come here on Locked On Brewers. And the Brewers will wind it up with the Giants. I don't know how the Giants have won 66 games. They're just not a good team. Just not a good team. And boy, did they make a tactical error late in that game. They let their starting pitcher, Kyle Harrison, stay in the game. One too many hitters. He was obviously losing it out there. And after Perkins hit a 2-run double, and I'm loving him in center field. Well, I'm liking him in center field. Defensively, I love him. But I want him out there instead of Garrett Mitchell. And then, but after the Giants with Harrison gives up the double, they should have pulled him right there. And what happens? They let Harrison, the lefty, stay in the ball game, and Contreras makes it 5-0 with a booming 2-run home run. God, some of these managers, I don't get it. Some guys pull their guys too quick. Other guys keep their guys in too long. They overmanage, undermanage. I don't get it. So anyway, the Brewers will play the final game of their series. Aaron Savale on the hill. He's up against Birdsong, who's 4, and Hayden Birdsong, who's 3-3, an ERA near 5. Now an ERA of 4.5, really, for San Francisco. Savale, an ERA near 5, 4.84. So that's the way the Brewers look. That's the way the Brewers look in the final game. Again, a quick turnaround, afternoon game. They'll get on a flight and they'll play a doubleheader beginning on Friday morning at 11:10. Kind of like the Northwoods League. Northwoods League, man, they'll play a night game somewhere, travel all night, get out of the bus, and play a day game 200-300 miles away. It's unreal. But that's what the Brewers got to do because they got to make up a rain out from earlier in this season. Hey, get us on Google, Spotify, Apple, all the major downloads. We are there, Locked On Brewers. Also, please go to our YouTube page, search Locked On Brewers, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. That alerts you every time we drop an episode on Locked On Brewers. We'll be back with you late Thursday night. As we'll look ahead to the Cincinnati Reds, wind up this Giants series, and who knows what great things we have in store. Will Jackson Chourio make it 3 days in a row of being one of the heroes in the game? Time will tell. Enjoy the game. Enjoy your day off if you're going out to the game, and we'll talk to you late Thursday night here on Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are a team every day. My name is Chuck Freeman. See you all tomorrow night, everybody.